What is up, everyone? So today we're gonna take a look at the drum plugin that I use, which is Addictive Drums 2. Some of you may be like, what? You have Get Good Drums, why not use those? I think I'm not good enough to use Get Good Drums every day. I still got a lot to learn on that because I've never been used to mix drums because I've been using Addictive Drums. Don't get me wrong, it's not the samples, it's me. Why don't I use Superior Drummer? To be honest with you, I think Superior Drummer always sounds the same and it sounds recognizable, which is something that I don't like that much. I think that with Addictive Drums you can create much more individual sounds which always sound good, but that is not the point of this video. I'm just saying that I've been using Addictive Drums for over 7 years now and I just got used to the workflow. So what we're gonna do now is switch to the computer and I'm gonna give you a quick introduction to Addictive Drums in case you're not familiar with it, which may be the case for some of you guys because I actually don't know anyone who's using Addictive Drums. Just a quick overview, I mean it's not something complicated. And after that I'm gonna walk you through my preset and show you how to get nice punchy tones with Addictive Drums. Here we go. So we're here at Logic Pro X, or in Logic Pro X, and I'd say we'll start off with a little sound snippet. Okay, now let's open up Addictive Drums. This is what it looks like. Nothing super complex. I think it's pretty much self-explanatory. For your information, I got the Metal Add pack, which comes with a bunch of other kicks and snares and toms, I believe. And also these cymbals are coming with the Metal Add pack. And additionally, you got a lot of presets, which are, I'd say, a good base to start your own preset with. Another very cool feature of Addictive Drums is the beat library. You're just a guitarist like me and you're writing MIDI drums. It's really hard sometimes to get nice beats or new beats, and I think let's take a listen. These are beats you would never think of, you know, writing with a mouse. Okay, now let's get to the more interesting part for you, the editing. Now before I start even talking about the editing, notice these symbols here. This means that the kick and snare are linked to these triggers here, the Flexi 1 and 3, sorry. And especially for the kick, this is a very crucial element in creating the kick sound. Now, if I mute the Flexi 1, it's much more flat and you haven't got that snap in the high end, which is very typical for a metal kick. For the snare, we got this. Now it's muted. There's actually no big difference there. It's more important for the kick. For those who wonder how you link a trigger to, let's say, the snare, now let's unlink it. You have this symbol is always there and you just hold and drag it to the trigger that you want. Link to snare and there you go. Now let's talk about the editing. I think for this video I'll just focus on the kick and snare because these are the most crucial elements of a metal drum set. Now let's take a look at the snare. What have we got here? As you can see, there are a lot of possibilities to tweak your sound. I'd say the most important thing is the compressor here. Let's mute this for a second and play the snare. You notice there's way more smack and much more attack. What's important to keep in mind here? My recipe for a snappy snare is slow attack and a fast release. Why? Because with the slow attack you give with the slow attack you give the snare a chance to make its initial hit, then the compressor kicks in and enhances that bit after the initial hit of the snare. This rule is not just for snares, it's basically for every instrument that you compress. If you have a slow attack, you enhance the attack of the instrument itself. Right, this is a very cool feature too. This is some kind of, it says distortion, and it also helps to get additional smack to the snare. In my case, I'm using the air pressure thing, and you can dial in the amount and the mix. It's really cool to experiment with that. Now the EQ. Since Addictive Drums has pretty good samples, there's not much EQing required. I just added a little high end to enhance the top end. Yeah. Now the tape and shape is also really nice because with the shape you got this attack knob here, and it literally gives you a lot of attack. Let's turn this off. Now let's turn off the entire section here and check the entire difference. Yeah, and there you have it. There's your smacky snare. And basically the same thing goes for the kick. Just keep in mind that the kick relies a lot on the trigger. The kick drum itself creates the basic sound, and the trigger really gives the final shape. Same thing with the compressor here, slow attack, fast release. A quite common way to get a really nice metal kick is to scoop the mids, which I did here. And I already helped the raw kick sound with the high-end snap here. And that's basically all that I did. Oh, and I pitched it down to make it more aggressive sounding. Not a big difference, but it's there, you know. Last but not least, a very big difference, not necessarily in snappiness of the sound, but hugeness in sound, let's say, is the reverb. Let's turn off the reverb for a second and listen to the extract. Sounds fine, it sounds very snappy, but it needs some bigness, some epicness to it. And this is where the reverb effects comes in. As you can see here, we got a effects section. I'm using a plate reverb. Now the reverb isn't very important for cymbals or kick, but it's very important for the snare to really make it sound big. Now let's make a A-B comparison. So that makes a huge difference. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't want to make this video too long. I just want to cover my basic ideas on how to tweak Addictive Drums. Now to me, it's really important that you experiment with different elements, because I mean, why wouldn't you if you got more than one sample? You know, even for me personally, my preset isn't steady. I'm changing it like almost every time when I mix, because every time there's something to improve or something to change. So go ahead and find the sound that is right for you. And as always, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe and browse the other videos. Make sure to like and share the video if you enjoyed it. That's it for today, and I will see you next time.